Hey everybody, it's Sacred G. Today I kind of want to talk about something a little life related, and this is again all my opinion, and that is literally when jobs and this happened to me just recently, and I just hate it when jobs do this. If there's an actual reason that they do this that can change my mind, just go ahead and leave that comment. And that's when jobs ask you, or at the interview or wherever, pretty much, I guess, when it comes to getting onboarded, and that's when they judge you for how long you've worked. That could be, a year, that could be, a few months. They even fucking bother to ask you, oh, what was the reason for that? And it's because they're skeptical when they ask that. They want you to kind of give them the honest answer, and if it's because, well, if you don't feel like working, then yeah, you're not going to get the job. But I hate that question for a multitude of reasons. First of all, I have job experiences. I have a resume, and for people that also have that, why would that matter? And especially if all the jobs on my resume are different than what this job is, why would you want to know how long it's been since I've worked? And especially if I'm in my 20s, because there's a lot of reasons. And I think a lot of people, when they're asked this, in my opinion, I don't know if this is true, everyone's different, but I would assume people tend to say things like, oh, well, it's because of this. They try to give an answer that doesn't seem like, they're lazy, and you're not. Like, if it takes you a while to, not like a long time, and I mean you keep procrastinating it, that's a problem. But if there's reasons to why it's been a year or two or since you've worked, then tell them. I would recommend being straight up honest with them. To be honest, I hate it for multitudes of reasons, because it doesn't matter. Like, if you haven't worked in a while, they're gonna fucking judge you for that, at least here in the US. It's just fucking stupid. It's like, okay, well, my other jobs have nothing to do with this one, so why do you care if I actually worked that long, or for how long it's been since I've worked, when these jobs are different in comparison to what this job is? Like, I don't think McDonald's has anything to do with warehouse work at all. And then the funny thing is, these people look at your resume, or they just say, or they're like, oh, he has resume. Or even if they did, if they did or did not look at the resume, and especially if they did, they should know that that's kind of a stupid question, because of the fact that they're literally asking you to pretty much give them the answer to say, oh, it's because, this, that, the other thing. And most of the time, I would say most people have a harder time, trying to get the ambition to find a job, is because if you've had a long history of getting shit job after shit job after shit job. By the way, doesn't mean you're a fool, doesn't mean you're stupid. Okay, it doesn't mean that you get fooled by other people. It means that some people are better at, lying than the last person you met. It's the world's crazy that way a little bit. Not exactly, those people are really a small minority. But it's just ridiculous to me. It's like, why would you ask me how long it's been since I've worked? Do you want me to be honest because of the fact that most, if not all, jobs, depending on your location, can be fucking shitty, and management can be fucking terrible, and then you're gonna judge me for that? Like, if I was an employer, I would literally sit here, or not, I would not sit here, but I would say, you know what, you've worked, you have a history of working, that's all I need. Like, also, I would also say what's also important is how long you work there. Like, 6 months is fine. That's actually half a year. It's a little longer than what employers, I guess, want you to think. And it's just funny to me. It's like, why do they ask that? It's just so funny, because I'm going to tell a quick story really quick that's probably going to go into a rant, because this just kind of pisses me off a little bit. So I went to this thing a few months ago at this point. I think back in January, late January, I think, I went to this, thing where they help you kind of find a job. They're like another pair of eyes. Well, to be honest, they're fucking useless, because I haven't had a single email from these motherfuckers And like, bro, anywho, the guy literally like wasn't gonna give me a job, but he had the balls to tell me that, oh, he said something along the lines of, oh, well, if you wanted to work, you would have found a job. I understand where he's coming from with that, but that's not how it works. It's not that easy. You know, there's a process to that. Sometimes, you know, not just me, but other people have anxiety. I actually have anxiety, believe it or not. And I usually ace interviews, to be honest. Not usually, but I'm pretty confident when I go in. But him just sheerly asking me, like, telling me basically I'm lazy, and that's not even the fucking case. It's mainly because I don't want to waste my fucking life working for some motherfucker who doesn't care and who's going to play these little fucking games because they're a sad piece of shit who is so uncreative they can't break out of the society norm, okay? And that's not a bad thing. I'm just insulting those people, but you don't know who I'm talking about, which is the blessing. It's like, I don't want to work for some fucking cunt, dude. I don't want to waste my time and months down the line and even sacrificing my own being to work for somebody who is a piece of shit, who doesn't care, and who wants to play games and fuck with you while you're in the workplace. Now, again, as I've stated in many of my other work videos, work or jobs are not always like that. It's just a factor of life that we all have to accept, and I accept that, but I'm approaching it differently and cautiously. You know, him even telling me, you know, it just seemed to me he was being condescending, saying I was lazy and that I don't want to work, which is a bunch of fucking horse shit. Like, don't ever fucking tell somebody that, and especially if you're working in those places where you're gonna help somebody get a job, because that's just one of the most stupidest things you could say, and you don't expect to see him again. You know, I should not have even gotten in further contact with this dude, you know, and the funny thing is about this place that tries to help, quotes here, help you find a job, they don't fucking do shit. You have to contact them, you know, and that's what I mean, is that some places that either try to help you waste your time, and work can too, and I just don't want to fucking work in a place that doesn't give a fuck about me. You know, that's going to either have a potential of fucking with my money, the money that I worked and earned for, you know, fuck those people. Honestly, fuck those employers that literally judge you based on how long it's been since you worked. It's not like people don't try. It's just that things are harder. You know, well, apply to jobs in your range. I do. We all do. Sometimes you don't get accepted, especially if they're doing a candidate run. You know? And another thing, I'll just include this because this is another thing that grinds my gears about finding a job, is a place that calls you back. I might even just do a whole separate video on why this is just fucking garbage. But they call you back and they tell you, they do a phone interview with you, right, to kind of get you prepped up for the actual interview. And they call you and they say, oh, well, we'll get a hold of you, we'll schedule an interview, blah, 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 blah. Right? You know, they said that they will call you. That's the key thing. They're saying themselves, they're going to call you. You're not telling them that, yeah, I'll get back to you, I'll call you to schedule an interview, whatever. Right, I don't even know if they're doing it to test you, to see if you really are desperate to get a job or if you really want to work. I don't know, it's kind of fucked up. So when they tell you this, that's on their dime. It's the ball's in their court at that point. And I had a job recently who took a month to call me back. They even acknowledged that. And I didn't bother to call them. I'm not going to have you waste my time. And because I was looking for other places anyways in the midst of that, so fuck that place. Like, don't waste people's time. You know, it's just a waste of time. The ball's in their court. They tell you they're going to call. That's on them. Like, it's not anyone else's fault but their own. It's like me basically telling the employer that, yeah, I'll call you back. I'll send you an email about everything. And I just don't do it. I don't do it for a month. They're a waste of time. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, is that if you get somebody asking you how long it's been since you worked, don't sweat about it. Don't. It's not worth it. Okay? And especially if it really has been, and as long as your reasoning is reasonable instead of you wanting to just be lazy. Like, don't get me wrong, I sometimes get distracted. I have ADHD pretty bad. I recently got off my meds a few years ago, and sometimes distractions get in the way. That occupies my job searching a little bit, and it's unfortunate, and it sucks as fuck. you know, and it's like, it's not that I don't want to work. You know, we all need fucking money. But anywho, don't sweat about it. They're not worth a fuck at all. They're just way too judgmental, in my opinion. Like, if you, as long as you have a work history, like you've worked other places, and that even can include McDonald's, for fuck's sake, then you're fine. As long as, I would say, you have multiple jobs, to be honest. I mean, then you'd be more than fine. Anywho, I'm Sacred G. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for listening to this unhinged, or not unhinged, but this rant. I guess you can say. Wouldn't even consider this a rant. It's unscripted, as most of my videos. So I'll see you guys in the next. Peace the fuck out. And remember, again, please don't stress about this. I don't. It's just a stupid thing that some employers do because they're too judgmental. Like, they just don't get that just because you didn't work for a while doesn't mean that you're being lazy. There's a lot of contributing factors to this, as I stated. Like, you could be doing a strategy plan so you don't fucking get into the wrong workplace. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace the fuck out. Thanks for watching. Also, another thing too, if a little advice, at least from me to you, you don't have to take it. If you are doing one of those programs where they are supposed to help you find a job and they don't get back to you, like, you have to reach out to them. Like, it's so funny because I've applied to 2 of these jobs from these programs that I keep seeing on Indeed. And the funniest part about that is oh god, okay. The funniest part, I got a call, and I had a meeting, just like I said, in January. I literally went to this and spoke to this guy because, you know, it's an in-person thing, so they could help you find a job. And this dude calls like they didn't even know I was already enrolled in their program. Like, it's so dysfunctional at that place, it seems like. And if that's the case, and if you're in those programs and you're like, well, you know, they're probably really busy with clients, they're not. If they really have to rely on you to get back to them, they are a worthless piece of fucking garbage. And you should just worry about finding a job on your own because they ain't gonna fucking help you. Because guess what? If they're relying on you, you ain't gonna hear back from them. It's just childish at that point to me. And it's like, okay, well, you know, if you're not going to help me, then guess what? I'm not going to fucking help you. I'm not going to get you paid because that's their job, is to get you a job so they could get paid for it. Fuck you. Like, if that's really their go-to strategy, just fuck them and just find a job on your own or go to another program that helps you find jobs. So, anyways, Sacred G, that's it. I'm out. Bye. See ya. Love you guys.